So I think when you're coming off a conference championship season the year before, one of your main goals is obviously going to be you want to repeat and you want to win the conference again. However, that's definitely in the back of our mind, but when thinking about this season, I think we're going a lot more deeper than that with goals and expectations. One of the first things we talked about as a program when I got here is what do we want the culture of this program to be and the identity of this program to be? Because I think most would say that's something that's been lacking a little bit. What is the culture of F&M softball? What is the identity of this program? So the girls made it a point that they want to make that a goal to start to lay a foundation for what this program is going to be. So throughout the off season, we really talked a lot about what do we want our culture to be. We've kind of settled with that we want this to be a blue-collar work ethic program. You're going to come in every day, you're going to get the job done, and we're going to see where that leaves us at the end of the season. Another goal we kind of talked about, we kind of used the word milestones in the program instead of goals. So our first milestone this year was to make it through a 6-day-a-week practice cycle. This is something the seniors, juniors, and sophomores have not done since they've been part of this program, is practice 6 days in the month of February, 6 days in a row in the month of February. So that was our first milestone to hit. We hit it, we survived obviously, and now our next milestone is making it through the month of February. February is a daunting month, definitely, but the work you put in February pays off in the first weekend in May. And then our third milestone we want to hit is by the time we leave from Florida, we have an idea of who we are as a team on the field, who are going to rise as our conference starters, who are going to be more of our role players, and we're going to go from there. And then our final milestone on the journey of winning the conference again is by the last week going into April, we want to still be competing for a spot in the conference playoffs. So I think what this team proved last year, doesn't matter if you're 1, 2, 3, or 4, you just need to give yourselves a chance to get into the playoffs and then anything can happen. So our final milestone is going into that last week in April when we have our sinus and WAC. We want those games to still mean something. And then a final expectation is that this is going to be a consistent softball program moving forward. So we're in a unique situation. We've returned almost an entire starting lineup from last year. However, we're dealing with one key injury right now, so it's definitely shaken up some roles a little bit. So my 5 seniors have basically been staples in this program for the past 3 seasons. So Izzy Schaefer and Katie Wenger are going to see significant time in the circle again. But I'm also looking to see more of an offensive production from Wenger and then a much more of an offensive production from Izzy Schaefer. She's shown to kind of be able to handle the bat the past few weeks. So we're looking for her to not only produce for us on the mound, but also offensively as well. Then we have Crystal Good and Erin Russell. Both of them are going to be playing out of position for a little bit. Just with our one key injury, they're going to be stepping into different roles they haven't been in yet, but that also shows our kind of next man up philosophy with us. So defensively, they're going to be staples in the middle infield for us. And then offensively, I'm looking for Erin Russell to get back to where she was her sophomore year. And Crystal Good is someone, the bat hasn't really come along for her the past 3 seasons, but the potential is there. And then we have Sammy Byrnes returning. Sammy Byrnes went down to injury early last season, so she was out basically all but 2 games, I believe. She was an all-conference performer the year before, so her being back in the outfield for us and in our offensive lineup is going to be incredible. And then my junior class, so Taylor Long, we won't have her for about the first half of the season most likely. That's been a struggle for us, but she's just been such a great member of our program in other ways since she went down with injury. Sam Clemens, also in that junior class, her versatility, she's really the definition of a next man up philosophy. She's really stepped in the outfield and in the middle infield for us due to injury, and she'll set the tone offensively for us. She's our only lefty in the lineup, so we're looking forward to that with her. Also in that junior class is Tiara Halstead. She's looking to see much more playing time, probably in left field for us this year, and I'm expecting her to produce at the plate as well. And then the sophomore class, definitely looking for Alexi Picanich and Ryan Correa to pick up where they left off offensively last season, but I'm also demanding a lot more out of the 2 of them defensively. I think Correa showed what she could do defensively in the conference playoffs, so we're really pushing her to be a defensive threat behind the plate. And then Picanich will see much more playing time at a corner position. And then also in that sophomore class is Gabby Goodwin and Christine Miles, who are definitely competing for starting roles in the outfield at this point. So our freshman class, we have pitcher Sabrina Ryan. She is doing a phenomenal job, and she's going to complement Wenger and Schaefer so well for us. So I think she might be the piece of the puzzle that this whole pitching staff has been missing. I think at any point in time, I can go to Sabrina, Izzy, or Katie and say, you're my number one for the day, let's get the job done. So Sabrina Ryan will see significant time on the mound for us. And then Ella Glenn, when Wenger's on the mound, we used to have that void kind of at first base. Ella Glenn's really going to help us defensively when Wenger's on the mound. And then we have 3 other freshmen. Gabby Colon, her speed's going to really help us on the bases. Delaney Cochran and Hannah Salvucci are definitely also going to provide us just more depth. There hasn't been much depth in the softball roster in a long time, so we actually have numbers we can play around with a little bit. Down in Florida, our first 4 games are definitely rough. We open up with the Finlandia team. They're 4-0 right now. We'll be their last game down in Florida, so they will have played 14 games before we probably will step on dirt. So they're playing really good softball right now. So that's going to be a great matchup. They have 2 really good pitchers, so we're looking forward to playing them. After Finlandia, we go on to play a tough UW Stout team. So the UW conference, the WEAC conference, they send 4 teams to regionals every year. So that's a strong conference, so we're expecting tough competition there. And then day 2 down there, we have a Framingham State team that made regionals last year. And then we have a tough Stockton team that plays in that strong conference over in Jersey. So we have a tough first 4 games, but I think the good thing about that is we're gonna face all those teams number ones, and I think we need that because I've been a part of the conference now this will be my 7th season with Centennial Conference softball. I can without a doubt say this is the strongest this conference has ever been. I don't think there's going to be much of a difference between the top team and the team that finishes in last place this year. Every conference game will be a grind. There's definitely no gimmies this year. So our Florida schedule will prepare us definitely for conference play. We're probably going to take our hits down in Florida, but at the end of the day, the goal is winning conference games and being a top 4 team in the conference.